Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 215th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As you might see straight away, this is not a usual map. This is a custom map, and I think this was supplied by a Brotherhood member, Mystique, who has got a lot of custom maps. So hopefully it'll be a bit different for you to watch, seeing this battle fought on a custom map. The team today consists of Brotherhood member Killer B, who has bought the Rome SBQR faction. And then we have Brotherhood member Uther, who has bought the Rome Julio faction. Just like to show you a couple of units that's not very often used in the 31k battlefield, and that is the Samnite Gladiators. Now, there's only 40 men to a unit in these Samnite Gladiators, but their specifications are quite good, and Uther likes to bring this unit from time to time. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do on the modern day battlefield. Also, I noticed Uther's bought his cavalry armoured general there. As I said, up to about 6-7 years ago, bringing a cavalry general was a normal thing to do, and about approximately 7 years ago, most of us changed to an infantry general. But Uther uses that armoured cavalry general extremely well, so that's why he likes to bring the old school general to the modern day battlefield. So that's Uther's army there, and their next teammate is Brotherhood member Blizzard. Now, I haven't seen Blizzard on RTW for probably at least 5 years, so I'm thinking that this battle is at least 5 years old, and it's nice to see a Brotherhood member who we haven't seen for a long time actually playing the game. And then we have the supplier of the battle, and that is Brotherhood member TR, who has bought the Macedon faction. Just like to draw your attention here to TR's army. I think he's got something like 16 infantry units, pikemen, and 4 Cretan archers, and no cavalry. So I'm guessing here that he's bought this army specifically to take on a specific faction on the other team. There's the Cretan archers at long range, and they do a lot of damage. As I say there, if you look at the long pikes of these Royal Pikemen, can you see that each one of his units have got 8 upgrades on each, so they're really well upgraded. But if you just look at the length of these pikes, that's why Roman generals don't like fighting pike units head on. The Roman troops have got to fight all the way down those long pikes to kill the men on the other end. So it just goes to show the length of those pikes, and that's why Roman generals don't like attacking head on. So there's the one team there, but you wait till you see the other team. This should be a classic game for you to watch on a custom map. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Talos. A lot of you remember Talos, really good player. And he's bought the Rome Bruto faction. And then we have RTW player Prince of War, who has bought the Greek Cities faction. I'd just like to draw your attention to this particular part of the map. Now, can you see there's a slight slope there on this battlefield? It's just a slight slope, but it is slightly higher ground, and whoever can get up there first, I think we'll have a slight advantage in this battle, using the tactical part of the battlefield there to get a little bit higher. Be interesting to see who actually gets that position. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Cal, who has bought the Rome Scipio faction. And then our last teammate is, I believe, the host of this game, and that is Brotherhood member Mystique, who, as I said, has hosted this battle on one of her custom maps. Just like to draw your attention to Mystique's army here. Can you see that she's bought 18 infantry units and only 2 cavalry units? So it will be interesting to see if that number of infantry will make up for the, if you like, the lack of cavalry there. So this should be a great battle for you to watch on this custom map, and I hope you enjoy it. At this very early stage of the battle, when the armies have the game has just started, you see that Uther has spotted the tactical advantage here and moved his infantry up onto that slight slope in the kind of in the middle of the battlefield here, or the left flank of his army there. As I say, it's a slight slope there which he's moved his infantry on, so he's straight away taken a tactical advantage there. If the Greek cities general had run faster forward, maybe they could have actually contested that hill there, or that slope. Be interested to see what happens there as the battle unfolds. Okay, at this stage of the battle, you can see that Uther is pulling his red Julii army off of that slight slope, and Brotherhood member Blizzard has moved some of his SPQR troops up there. Right, can you see what I was talking about earlier about Uther using that Roman cavalry general to great effect? You see how we just charged down that slope there and attacked that Brutii unit there? Nice little aggressive attacking harassing move there by Uther with that cavalry general. As I say, you can see he's moving his main Julii army over away from that slope at the moment over to this this right flank. But a lot of his teammates are trying to take position up on that slope there. As I say, making the most of a tactical part of the map is, I think, a good tactical move there by the team. And it looks, looking at this, it looks like the main battle is going to be fought around that slope. So I think this battle could be quite a compact battle here, I would think. So you can see Uther's moved his main army out here to the to this right flank here. Going back onto that slope, can you see that TR's Macedon faction now has taken up residence on that slope, almost inviting the Greek cities to attack.
Men can hold in the face of this calamity.
If you notice that Killer B has moved his couple of archer units up onto that slope, so he gets extra range being at that little bit higher, which is a nice tactical move there by Killer. As I say, it's only a slight slope on the battlefield, but it certainly does give an advantage to anybody that actually takes up residence on that slope. And if you can see here, as I say, Killer B's put his archers on that slope, and he can get a lot of extra range from there. I notice he's targeting some of the enemy cavalry. Meanwhile, over on this right flank here, you can see that Uther is charging his cavalry into those couple of Scipio units there. And bang, as that cavalry hits. My guess is that Mystique will start throwing pilers in. Yep, there you can see support infantry units there throwing pilers in, taking a lot of Uther's cavalry out there with their piler hits. But as I say, I think for a big 4v4, which this is, I think it's going to be quite a compact battlefield here. It looks like both teams are kind of packing their armies into a very small part of this battlefield. Meanwhile, back on the slope, can you see that TR has taken his Macedon faction down the slope a little bit there? It looks to me like a kind of like a massive defensive formation there, and it looks like TR is asking the Greek cities almost to attack. So it'll be interesting to see if the Greek city general actually does that. I noticed that Talos has brought some of his Brutii units closer there, so he can throw some pilers into TR's Macedon units. As you can see, those long Macedon pikes, as we looked at before there, just kind of inviting those Greek cities to attack. If you notice, the Greek city general's taken some of his units over, a couple of his units over there to help his allies against the SPQR Roman units there. But if you notice that Killer with his archers up on that slope, as I say, getting that extra range from that slope, is targeting a couple of those Greek cities. I'd just like to show you something here that you might find interesting, especially new players to the game here. Just going to pause the game for a second. Can you see that Killer was firing fire arrows over onto those Greek cities units there? Okay. Remember that fire arrows not only cause casualties, but they actually cause panic and lower the morale of their troops. So he's firing his fire arrows there, but if you notice, his own units are panicked by the fire arrows, where his fire arrows are hitting into the back of his own unit. So he's lowering the morale of one of his own infantry units there. So just to say, when you use fire arrows, make sure when you use them in a particular way that you don't hit your own troops. Yeah, so as I say, just make sure that when you use fire arrows or just ordinary arrows, make sure that you target the enemy, preferably not over your own units. Right, can you see here the Greek city's generals brought a couple of units in here to try and flank TR's units. My guess is that Killer's going to move some infantry. There you go. Killer's very good support player here at moving infantry and a cavalry hit into the back of those Greek city unit there, and straight away routed that attacking unit. Very nice teamwork there by Killer there, protecting TR's flank. As we know, pike units' most vulnerable spots are their flanks and rear, so that's nice support there by TR. Meanwhile, over on the right flank here, you can see that Mystique's army there and Uther's army there are in a little bit of a skirmish mode over on this right flank. And you've got some of Blizzard's SBQR units there facing some of Talos's units. And then we come over to the left centre. You can see most of Killer B's army there is facing Cal's army. But if you notice, as I said earlier, Killer's taking some infantry units over there to help his teammate TR. Let's say teamwork is very essential on 3v3 or 4v4s or 2v2s. Remember, you might do great where you are, but if you don't help your ally and your ally loses, then the chances are your team will probably lose. So teamwork is essential. Just close up there showing you the long pikes of those Macedon pikemen there against the shorter pikes of the Greek city's Spartans there. And also, can you see Killer making the most of his archers again, firing point blank range into those Spartan units there. Even though the Spartans have got excellent morale, those fire arrows will lower their morale. So nice little move there once again, supporting his teammate there, Killer. Bearing in mind that those Greek city Spartans have got to fight slightly uphill there, I think they're doing quite well. Over here you can see that Killer's SBQR units there are still holding that flank to stop any troops getting around his allies' flank there. Meanwhile, over on the right flank here, as we said earlier, still a bit of skirmishing going on there. Let's just pause the game for a second. You can see here on this flank a lot of skirmishing going on. Uther's just attacking one of Mystique's Testudo units, but in general on this flank it's quite quiet. If you notice that Blizz has still got all his cavalry out the back there, and Cal's got all his cavalry out behind his army too, probably ready to engage when necessary. You can see Blizz is facing Talos's army and some of Mystique's army here. A little bit of skirmishing going on there too. And here, as I say, got Killer facing some of the enemy units there, but mostly taking a lot of his units over to that other flank there, as I said, to support his teammate TR. So as I say, there's a general overview of exactly what's happening on the battlefield at the moment. Now can you see Talos has got a couple of Brutio units in behind his Greek city allies there. There's a close-up of the fight in there between the Spartans and the Royal Pikemen. As I say, those great big long Macedon pikes there are quite a formidable force. Right. Can you see there's a little gap here between the enemy team and that rock? And what I'm thinking is here that Talos is going to take a couple of his Brutio units and try and get behind those engaged Macedon pikemen. And that'd be a nice tactical move if he can do that, or maybe even take out those archers that have been causing his team so many problems there. Right, nice tactical move there by Talos, well spotted by him. Actually, it would have been handier if he had more units to take up behind there, I think myself. 2 units to get up there is a good start, but if the enemy sends over reinforcements and those 2 units are very isolated there. Now the thing is, what is he going to go for? Is he going to go for those archers, or is he going to go for the back of those engaged pikemen? Right, he's decided he's going to go for those archers there. And if you notice that TR spotted that and brought over his pike general here to try and neutralise Talos's couple of units that's got him behind him there. It wouldn't surprise me if Killer spots it as well and brings over some reinforcements to help.
The gods be praised.
And there's a cavalry unit from Killer, and bang, as that cavalry unit goes in. As I say, both those Brutio units are extremely isolated there, and my guess is their morale's pretty low, and they'll probably end up routing there. There's a general overview of the battle again. Let's see, over on this right flank here, you can see a bit of skirmishing, but can you see that Uther and Blizz are taking a lot of their infantry units over to that left flank? Maybe they can see a bit of danger over there, and they're taking their infantry over there to try and possibly prop up that flank if they think it's in danger there. And there's one of Talos's infantry units there that got in behind TR's army there, have just basically been routed there. Nice little cavalry charge there by Talos as they routed a lot of the enemy SBQR infantry there. It looks like it was a nice angled cavalry charge there. Right, let's just pause the game for a second to take stock of exactly what's going on. As you can see here, Killer's brought a cavalry unit out through here. He might be viewing, trying to get in behind the engaged enemy troops there. As you can see here, there's still a fierce battle going on between the pikemen there, but also if you notice that Killer's got some of his SBQR units in there, and Talos, I believe, has got some of his Brutii infantry in there helping his Greek cities ally as well. So I'm not sure, but this flank may be pivotal to the battle here. As you can see here, Cal's moving in with some of his Scipii units there. But that was a nice cavalry charge there by Talos. As I say, took out a lot of the enemy SBQR infantry. I think it was an angled cavalry hit there, so well done to him. As I say, here's a general overview of the battle there. If you notice that Blizz hasn't used his cavalry that much, kind of keeping them intact, fresh, and it'll be interesting to see towards the end of the battle whether that cavalry being kept fresh and intact could make a difference. Sometimes it can, sometimes you can leave it too late and it doesn't, but we'll have to wait and see here. Let's see here, Cal, and remember, Cal is the Scipii and his ally is the Green Brutii. They're moving forward. If you notice that Uther's got a few units here, 3 units here over on this right flank that are a bit isolated. But as you can see here, Talos and Cal are moving forward here onto the flank of the enemy SBQR army there. It wouldn't surprise me if, can you see that SBQR cavalry and that Julii cavalry there, if they counter-attacked the Scipii cavalry, and as you can see, that's what they're doing there. They realise they outnumbered the Scipii cavalry there and just counter-attacked there to drive them off from attacking their infantry. Nice combination cavalry attack there, and Cal did the right thing and backed his cavalry off there. Meanwhile, back over onto this this left flank here, you can still see it's a fierce battle going on between the pike factions plus their allies Roman units that they've thrown in there as well. And if you notice that Killer's archer units up on that slope are still firing fire arrows into the enemy team there. If you notice, Uther's brought some infantry units over here to help TR's Macedon units there. A nice little hit here by Killer, and bang into that back of that engaged Brutii infantry unit. If you notice that Cal's brought some of his Scipii cavalry in to counter that charge, very nice. Right, can you see Uther charging his cavalry in as well, and bang as that cavalry hits. Nice aggressive attacking cavalry work there by both Killer and Uther there. And as I say, notice that Cal took his cavalry over there to try and help the situation, but of course he's being targeted by the archers on that slope as well. Right, if you notice that Killer's brought some cavalry units over here as well. Now, as I said, my guess is that you're probably trying to get in behind the engaged enemy troops there and try and strike the back of those engaged troops, and probably cause a rout. If you notice here that Cal's charged some of his cavalry in there trying to rout some of those Macedon units there. But as I say, Killer's got those cavalry in a very dangerous position for the other team there, and looking to hit into the rear of their engaged troops. Right, another cavalry attack there by Uther's red Julii cavalry, and bang as that cavalry hits. And if you notice that Killer's charged some of his SBQR cavalry in from the other flank there as well, and caused a rout of a lot of Talos's units there. So do you remember what we said earlier, that this flank could be pivotal to the battle? Whichever side probably would win there, we might go on to win the battle. Right, let's just pause the game for a second. Just like to draw your attention to the use of these archers. Can you notice that TR has moved these archers out to a very advantageous position, slightly on a slope. He's got them in close formation so they can shoot fire arrows into the rear of the engaged enemy troops. Obviously, with that, the impact of those fire arrows would have caused mass morale loss to the enemy, and would have very much contributed to a lot of their units routing there. So that's a nice use of archers there by TR. Meanwhile, over on this left flank here, can you see Blizz is actually charging those? Remember we looked at his cavalry earlier, completely intact and fresh cavalry there. And we wondered that if towards the end of the battle that might make a difference. So it'll be interesting to see if it does. Another cavalry attack there by Uther's cavalry there, and bang as that cavalry goes in. Let's say he's been extremely aggressive with that cavalry, using that slope advantage, so he gets a really good run up as he comes down from that slope there, and a really good impact into the enemy team. Let's say here you can see that I think Cal has still got some cavalry, very battle damaged cavalry units left, but I think if you look overall, I think that that TR's team, if you like, has got more cavalry left. Now whether that's going to make a difference towards the end, we'll just have to wait and see. As you can see there, Killer's taking some units off to finish off some of the Brutii units over there. Right, now just draw your attention here. Can you see that Blizz has moved his cavalry over there? Just going to pause the game for a second. Right, do you remember he was positioned over here, but you could see that the Scipii infantry were ready for that attack. So what he's done now, he's moved his cavalry over here, where I think he's looking to smash through his own units into the engaged troops, and possibly even target Mystique's general. And remember, if he hits that general and routs it or kills it, then all of Mystique's infantry's morale will lessen. So it'll be interesting to see if he does that. As you can see here, there's a lot of intense fighting going on at this stage of the battle. Over on this right flank as well, you can see that Uther's Julii units are all totally engaged. And as I said, over on this side you can see that on this flank, Killer's taken some infantry units to finish off some of Talos, his infantry, and I believe Mystique's got a cavalry unit over there as well. So he's got several units over there just trying to finish them off. But just draw your attention to the dead here. You can see the red Spartans kind of in a semicircle there, dead, and the Macedon's dead there in that semicircle. Okay, so back to this part of the battlefield now. And as I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Blizz targeted Mystique's general here, and there goes the cavalry in, and bang as that cavalry hits. Right, routed Mystique's general, which he aimed for, a surgical strike there to take her general out, which he's done, and he knows now that the morale now of all her army has dropped. So he just went in there, took the general out, staying there, just having a little bit of a fight with those infantry, and now pulls his cavalry back. It's kind of like he's pulled his cavalry back, he's cocked the hammer of the rifle, and he's just ready to pull the trigger to charge in again. Right, can you notice that Talos is Brutii green general is there? And I thought, oh, he might have targeted that, but no, he's going to charge in through his own engaged units here and smash into those Scipii infantry. Nice cavalry hit there by Blizzard. There you are, in, and then pulls back, got the full cavalry charge bonus, as we said in all our other battle videos, a full cavalry charge bonus. Doesn't want to hang around too much to fight infantry, pulls back, pulls the hammer back on the rifle, ready to pull the trigger again. And here he goes in again, and bang, with that cavalry hit again. Notice he's got a slight slope advantage there, pulls back up onto that slope, that's why he went there originally, so he would get a bit of a downhill slope advantage. Charged in again. These hammer blows that his cavalry are putting in are causing major casualties to the Scipii infantry there. Meanwhile, on the other flank here, can you see that Killer and TR very tactically are moving units round the rear of the engaged Scipii infantry. Very nice tactical move there. Right, now can you see Blizzard taking his cavalry around that flank? My guess is he's going to position his cavalry facing the rear of those engaged Scipio troops. I bet veterans watching this would do exactly the same there. There you go. And then when he's ready, he'll pull the trigger and bang, straight into the back of those engaged Scipio troops. And there he goes. Bang, as that cavalry hits straight into the back of Talos' general there. Notice Talos' general is now routed, so all the rest of his troops' morale will drop. And bearing in mind that Mystique's general's already been killed, then the morale of the Scipii and the Bruttii troops will now drop dramatically, and it wouldn't surprise me if they if it's starting a kind of massed rout there. But did you notice, as I say, Blizzard's cavalry, he kept it back during the course of the battle there, kept it fresh, basically intact, and the sledgehammer blows that he's been putting in with that cavalry has really made a difference in this battle.
The enemy general is running away. This is no
really nice tactical use of cavalry, and I've seen a lot of good tactical use of cavalry by a lot of the players in this battle. But as I say, that was a nice tactical move by Blizzard, keeping his cavalry back there. Right, can you see? You see the Scipii generals moving infantry out to take on Blizzard's cavalry before it gets a chance to charge. But my guess is Blizz, as you can see here, will now retreat his cavalry because he knows he can outrun that infantry. He can then position his cavalry where he wants and then charge them in when he wants to as well.
Full of fear, and now they flee.
But I think looking at this battle now, I think that TR's team has managed to go on to win a really good victory here. I know I've said it before, but I thought, as I say, Blizzard's cavalry, those sledgehammer hits he was going in with those cavalry there, really did cause the enemy so many casualties there. A really nice tactical cavalry move. If you look at the victorious troops on the battlefield there, you can see there's not a lot left. I would think this probably would be a close victory there. Just look at the dead here, see how intense the fighting was. On this slope here, as I say, you can see the Spartans and the Macedons there. As you go further across the battlefield there, you can see the masses of dead, where this was such an intense part of the battlefield here. So many piles of dead troops there. There's some SBQR troops just celebrating their victory. So as you can see, there's a panoramic view of the dead on the battlefield there. So intense the fighting was there on that one particular part. We said right at the beginning we thought it would be a compact battle, and looking at the position of the dead, I think we were right there. First thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the battle there. Really well played. And you see it's an average victory. I thought it might have been a close victory from what I saw. And just like to say, really well done to TR for its Macedon troops there, getting such a large kills. In fact, getting the largest kills on the battlefield there. Bearing in mind that he was facing Greek cities and Roman enemies there. For Macedon to get the best kills, really well done. Really well played to TR, Killer, Uther and Blizz. Some great tactical play there. Really nice support by Killer and Uther to TR, and some really nice cavalry action there by Blizz. And really well played to Mystique, Cal, Prince of War and Talos as well. Really well played to you guys as well. As I said, I thought this would have been a close victory here rather than an average victory from what I could see on the battlefield. So really well played to everybody there. Just have a look at TR's battle statistics here. If you notice, none of his units have done particularly brilliantly. Some of the pike units have done quite well, and some of the archer units has done quite well. And if you look at the casualties healed there, you'll see that a lot of his casualties were healed there as well. So just to say, I hope you enjoyed watching this battle on this custom map. It's an unusual battle. If you did, please subscribe to our channel. Always nice to have good new subscribers. This Spartan Commander is saying see you soon and bye for now.